What if I told you that the reason you haven't won a scholarship yet has nothing to do with your qualifications? What if the problem is not even your CGPA, not even your country, not your background, but a set of very specific, very fixable mistakes that quietly killing your applications? I have reviewed hundreds of scholarship applications. I have seen brilliant, deserving students get rejected, not because they were not good enough, but because nobody told them what I am about to tell you today. So, if you have applied before and lost, if you are preparing to apply right now, or if you have ever wondered why do I keep getting rejected, this video is your answer. Watch it to the end, take notes, because after today, you will never apply the same way again. So, before we get into the mistakes properly, I need to speak directly to someone watching this right now. You have been applying faithfully, consistently. You set alarms for deadlines. You beg people for recommendation letters. You write and rewrite your personal statement. You submit and then you wait, and then rejection, or worse, silence. And after so many of those moments, a voice starts whispering, maybe this is not for you. Maybe you should just accept your situation and move on. I need you to silence that voice today. Do you know what? Separate most scholarship winners from those still waiting. It is not brilliance, it is not connections, and it is not even luck. It is information and iteration. The students who win are the ones who find out what was going wrong and fix it on time. That's exactly what this video is meant for, and that's exactly what this video will give you today. So I'm asking you today, don't give up. Not today, not after this video, because what you're about to learn could be the exact thing that will turn your next application into a winning one. So let's get started. Why these mistakes matter? Now, here is something most people don't realize about scholarship committees. For a single scholarship, reviewers may go through thousands of applications. The Chevening Scholarship alone receive over 65,000 applications per year for a roughly 1,800 spots, and that's less than 3% acceptance rate. What that means is this: reviewers are not looking for reasons to pick you in the early stages. They are looking for reasons to eliminate you first. And if your applications has any of the mistake I'm about to share, it gives them exactly the excuse they need to move on to the next person. Now, these mistakes are not small. They, they are applications killers. And the dangerous part is most people making them have absolutely no idea about them. Now, let's look at those mistakes one by one. Mistake number one is applying to the wrong scholarships, and this is a foundation mistake, and it costs people months of wasted effort. Many students apply to scholarships they've simply heard of without checking whether that scholarship is actually a good fit for their profile, their field, their career stage, or even their nationality. Now, let me be blunt. If you're applying for a scholarship that requires a first class degree and you have a second class lower, that application is dead on arrival, no matter how beautiful your essay is. So, before you apply to anything in 2026, ask yourself these four questions. One, does this scholarship accept applicants from my country? Number two, do I meet the minimum academic requirement for this scholarship? Number three, is my field of study eligible for this scholarship? Number four, is my career stage right? Is it undergraduate, postgraduate, or PhD? Spend 30 minutes researching a scholarship before you spend 30 hours applying for it. Being strategic with your target is not giving up. it is working smart. Now, mistake number 2 is writing a generic personal statement. And this is the biggest killer. I cannot tell you how many personal statements I have read that start with "I have always been passionate about," or "from a very young age I dream of this and that, it is my profound pleasure to apply for." No, reviewers have read those opening lines 10,000 times, and your personal statement needs to do one thing in the first two sentences: make the reviewer stop scrolling. And here is the difference. Make your personal statement personal. Make it specific. Make them feel like they are reading your story and not someone's story. Mistake number 3 is not answering the actual question. Now, this one sounds obvious, but it is shockingly very common. Scholarship applications ask very specific questions, like what is your leadership experience? How will this scholarship contribute to development in your country? Describe a challenge you have overcome and what you learned from it. And what do many applicants do? They write a general essay about themselves and paste it into every question box. Now, that is an automatic red flag for reviewers. It tells them you did not read carefully. It tells them this application is not tailored, and it tells them you probably sent the same thing to 20 other scholarships. Here is the rule. Every answer must be written for the specific questions, for that specific scholarship, and for that specific committee. Before you write a single word, read the question 3 times. Identify exactly what they are asking, then answer that directly, clearly, and completely. So if the question has a multiple part, answer every single part. Missing even one sub-questions can get your application disqualified in a very competitive program. So mistake number 4 is ignoring the scholarship's values and mission. Every major scholarship has a mission, a philosophy, a type of person they are trying to find and fund. For Chevening is looking for a future leader who will influence UK African relations, and for Mastercard Foundation scholarship programs is looking for a young African committed to giving back to their communities. The Commonwealth Scholarship prioritizes candidates who will use their education for the development of their home country, right? So if your application doesn't reflect these values, even if everything else is perfect, it will not resonate at all. So here is your homework before every application. Go to the scholarship website, find their mission statement, find their values, find their alumni stories to understand the kind of person they've funded before. Then make sure your application speaks that same language. This is not being fake, this is being smart. You genuinely have to align your goals with the scholarship's mission and then articulate that alignment clearly in your essays. Mistake number 5: weak or mismatched recommendation letters. Let me paint you a picture. You spent a week on a flawless personal statement. Your CV is polished, your grades are decent, but your recommendation letter says, and I am paraphrasing what I've actually seen, "To whom it may concern, I know this student, she attended my class, she is a hardworking, and I recommend her." 5 sentences, no specifics, no examples, and no personality. That letter does not help you. In any cases, it actually hurts you because it signals that your recommenders doesn't know you well, it doesn't care enough, or that you didn't invest in this relationship. And here is what a strong recommendation letter does. 1, it tells a specific story about you. 2, it gives a concrete example of your abilities and your character. And 3, it answers why you specifically deserve this scholarship or this opportunity. And 4, it comes from someone who relevant authority who knows you well. right? So to get this kind of letters, you have to invest in the relationship before you need the letter. And when it is time to ask, give your recommenders everything they need. Your CV, your personal statement, key stories you like them to reference in the letter, and then the scholarship missions and a clear deadlines. So help them write a great letters for you. Your application depends solely on it. Mistake number 6 is submitting after the deadline. This one should be simple, and yet it happens all the time. Scholarship deadlines are not suggestions. They are walls. Most online portals shut automatically at the deadline time, not the deadline day, the deadline time. Some scholarships specify 11:59 p.m. GMT, others says noon. If you submit 1 minute late, your application does not exist. And here is a trap many African students fall into: internet connectivity issues, outrages, document upload error. These are real problem, and the committee doesn't care about it. So here is a rule: treat every deadline minus 72 hours as your personal deadline. Have your full application ready 3 days early. Use those last 3 days to review, refine, and submit, so that if NEPA takes light or your Wi-Fi misbehave, you still make it in. Mistake number 7 is a poor or unprofessional CV. Now, your CV is the first document many reviewers look at, and a poorly formatted or overlong or empty CV immediately lowers the committee's confidence in you. Common CV mistakes in a scholarship applications include listing your primary and your secondary school as a major achievement when you are a university graduate, including irrelevant personal details, height, religion, marital status that have no place in your professional CV. Having a CV that is 5 pages long with large font and excessive spacings just to fill space, spelling and grammar errors on a document that's supposed to represent your professionalism is not good. Your scholarship CV should be 1 to 2 pages maximum. Clean, structure, focus on education, experience, leadership, publications, award, and community development. If you need a scholarship CV template, kindly email us through our website and we'll send you a link. You can access a standard scholarship CV template. Mistake number 8 is not proofreading. Typos, grammatical error, the wrong scholarship name in an essay, addressing one's organization's committee with another organization's name. These things happen often and they are completely avoidable. After you finish writing, do not proofread immediately. Step away. Come back with a fresh eyes, ideally the next morning. Then read every word out loud. Then give it to someone else to read it. Run it through a grammar tool like Grammarly. And please triple check that you have not pasted in text from a different scholarship application with the wrong name or wrong country. This happens more than you think, and it is instantly disqualifier. Then mistake number 9 is giving up after 1 or 2 rejection. I saved this one for near the end because it is not just a strategy mistake, it is a life mistake. The scholarship journey is not a sprint, it is a marathon, and the students who eventually cross the finish lines are almost never the ones who applied once or twice. They are the ones who treated every rejection as data, not defeat. Every rejection teaches you something. Your essay wasn't strong enough, work on it. Your profile was weak in a certain area, build it. Your recommendation letter didn't support your narrative, change your recommender. I want you to make a commitment to yourself right now. Commit to applying to at least 10 scholarship this cycle, because your yes is out there, and it may not be the first application, it may not be the fifth, but if you stop, then you guarantee the result you are afraid of, right? So keep going, adjust, make sure you improve, reapply. Your breakthrough is a matter of when and not if. Mistake number 10 is not preparing for the interview stage. Now, many students pour everything into the writing application, and then the interview invitation comes and they treated it casually. The interview is where scholarships are won or lost. At that stage, every shortlisted candidate looks good on paper. The committee is now choosing between personalities, communication skills, and vision. Then you need to research the scholarship history, past scholars, and alumni impact. Practice your answers to a common question out loud, not just in your head. Know your own application inside out. Then they will ask about what you wrote, right? So be ready to articulate your future plans with specific confidence and detail. Dress professionally and ensure your environment is clean and well lit for a virtual interviews. Do mock interview with friends, your mentors, or even record yourself on a phone. Watch it back, then you will notice things about your delivery you never knew. Preparation at the interview stage is what separates good candidates from a scholarship winners. So let's quickly have a recap of what we've discussed so far. The 10 scholarship application mistake you must avoid in 2026. And the first one still is applying to the wrong scholarship without checking the eligibility. Then mistake number 2 is writing a generic copy-paste personal statement. Number 3 is not answering the actual question being asked. Number 4 is ignoring the scholarship values and mission. Number five is submitting a weak recommendation letter. Number 6 is missing the deadline. Number 7 is having a poor or unprofessional CV. Number 8 is failing to proofread your application. 9 is giving up after rejection instead of iterating. Then number 10 is walking into the interview stage unprepared. Fix this and your next application will look completely different. So I want you to live with this thought. Every scholarship winner was once exactly where you are right now. Uncertain, applying, hoping, sometimes doubting. The difference is they keep learning, kept refining, and kept going. Today, you just got an education that many applicants don't have. Use it. Go back to your application with fresh eyes. Fix what needs to be fixing and submit with confidence. And if this video added value to your application or scholarship journey, do me one favor. Hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this video reach thousands more African or international students who need this information just as badly as you did before you click play. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss our next video. See you in the next one.